Shiko, a computer engineer, and Jazz, a marketer, met at an overnight prayer meeting, and while Jazz took note of her at first glance, Shiko could not have been least bothered.
I met Shiko in 2001. We happened to be on a cash on a Friday evening, I can remember very well. In fact, on that day, I even lost my wallet. We were doing a song, so I was playing guitar, and here I'm seeing a very beautiful lady in front of the row. And it was a meeting we normally used to go every Friday. Guys would, fellowship teams from different campuses would meet and would have a kesha. So I was doing a presentation on that day, and Shiko was there. I can even remember, she had cornrows. And after the time, I just, during those times when you're having the cup of tea, made a beeline to her. And of course, being the man, you want to hear, was my performance good? And as you're introducing yourself, you're using what you're gifted at.
He was tall, ruggedly handsome, and played the guitar. All those things combined in one person. But imagine I didn't fall for him. But we became friends. We were very good friends. And I at that point I said, anyway, I'm in first year, going to second year. This will not work. He was such a gentleman. He allowed me to finish school. He actually allowed me to finish fourth year. Immediately after, he became my shadow again. And he started saying, oh, Shiko, now you finished school, I
was really pursuing her, but now with hindsight, I knew that she was focused because we really much did not start dating because she wanted to finish her school and pursue her master's degree, and she was very clear on that.
So at that point, actually, I always tell him when he laughs at me is, I went and prayed. I prayed to God. I said, God, he's a very nice guy. He's ruggedly handsome. He's all these things. Please give him a nice girl to marry, because he will not wait for me for 5 years to finish school. It is unfair for him to even wait. It's unfair for me to ask him to wait for 5 years for me to finish school. And by the way, that story died, as in we would email once in a while. He always checked up on me, like on my birthday. He would just send me like a message saying, happy birthday, I hope you're doing okay. Or he'll send me like a poem or a song. He'll send me a song when I'm feeling like, I don't know, he had this sense of things.
True love waits, but for Shiko and Jazz, the test of time and distance would instigate a split. Jazz's persistence and patience paid off, and he finally won Shiko's heart over.
When I came back home, he sent me an email. And I told him, Akiwoye, I'm at that place. I'd started seeing somebody else. And he was seeing somebody else, so it was not going to work. But then a year down the line, we were not both not seeing anybody else. So he said, Shiko, it's been N years since we met. It's time. I am not getting married to another person. We have tried those ones, they have not worked. Imagine, you pray. Me, I know what I want. I'll travel a lot for work. Then he said, oh, by the way, you travel a lot for work. So you give me your father's number just in case something happens. I want to follow up, being caring. He's very caring. So I called my dad and I say, hey, my dad first starts like, hey, Shiko. I'm saying, what is it, Dad? I'm supposed to be the one who's in shock or something. And he's like, hey, ule kijana amenipigia simu hapa. I'm saying, kijana? Kijana anajiita Kuria. Amesema ni rafiki yako wa karibu. I said, at you what? I said, pause. I called George. Jazz, what did you do? Yeah, I called your dad. I just needed him to know that I like you. I'm just stating it out there as you're making up your mind so that you know that I'm actually serious about this thing. I respected the fact that he called my dad. He was not playing with my heart.
That saying that people talk about, where you relieve the bird from its cage. If it comes back, then it's yours. Then it really plays into this role very well. Because me, I was very clear after. In fact, I've cleared campus after a few years after I started working, and I would imagine that I'd wanted to, settle down early enough.
Although he had made his intentions clear to her father, he needed to propose to Shiko, and he could only hope that this time she would not decline.
I quit my job and I said I'm taking 8 weeks off. Then I decided, okay, on my birthday, since I'm free, let me go to Coast. Because he's in Mombasa, we can spend the week together. So he woke me very early in the morning because he lives in Mombasa. He said, oh, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm taking you around Mombasa. It was just a great day.
Spending her birthday with Jazz was exciting for Shiko, but what happened next downright blew her mind.
What I did, I made sure that I told her that I'm taking her for dinner.
So we had a meal. I really enjoyed it. Then at the end of it, I was so full. So it said, oh, you don't want dessert? I said, no, imagine I am full. I can't, there's nothing else that can get into my body. I felt bad saying no in front of the waiter. So I said, okay.
When it was time for dessert, I organized with a guy to place the engagement ring on the dessert.
I was turning it, and as I turned it to say that I'm taking a picture, there was the ring. I think I screamed the whole hotel down. I can't remember the next 30 minutes, to be honest, because I was in total shock.
Every attention came on us, and everyone knew that I'm proposing to her. Of course, a guy's fear is that she doesn't say no and pushes you into the ocean.
Every time I look at the ring, for example, I always remember just that moment of feeling extremely special that this man has chosen me.
She was very excited, and I loved it. So I can always remember my proposal date because it coincides with her birthday.
It's now official, and Shiko starts planning her wedding instantly. Shiko and Jazz come from different walks of life, and while Shiko grew up in the countryside, Jazz is an urbanite.
I'm a village girl marrying a city boy. So I wanted to see, how do you fuse these different worlds together? I want everybody in the wedding to feel special. So I don't like the idea of having a high table. I don't have, all those things. I just want everybody to come to the wedding and feel special. So I wanted a wedding with lots of color, but also very African. I went to Pinterest, and they have this theme called rustic. And rustic is basically a gishagi idea of a wedding. They use whatever you find on the streets to actually do the decor, to do everything. So I realized that is what I'm going to pick on and build on, but make it my own, like Afrofusion. I've done most of my planning online. I go to Pinterest, I do Google search, because I knew I had an idea of what I wanted the wedding to look like. I wanted a lot of green, a lot of nature, a lot of flowers.
We did not do any printed cards. In case you don't have money for the cards, does that mean the wedding is not going to be beautiful? Does that mean the folks are not invited or people are not invited? So we thought about it. I have a wife who's a IT guru. So she went online, made an e-card.
We are expecting 400, but if more, you can't stop people. It's their love. If they paid all the way to come here, why not come here? We might cut down the food to a half. Not everybody will have a soda or a water, but you're going to have lots of fun.
Planning a wedding comes with challenges, and Shiko had a fair share of them.
I left my previous job last December, in November, after we got engaged, and we had already set the wedding date. So when I was starting a new job, it was either we move. I didn't know the challenges of starting a new job and getting married at the same time. Doing a wedding is such a long time. I don't know how I would operate without somebody else actually helping me. Because if you're planning a wedding by yourself, it is a full-time job in itself. If you're doing it by yourself, something will suffer. At some point, I had to tell my boss I can't do any business trips. I can't do some meetings. Finding the grounds was a bit of a challenge. You go online and see these great pictures of this great place, and you go to the place, you're thinking, not exactly what was in the pictures.
Thanks to a supportive sister-in-law, Shiko is able to overcome her challenges with poise.
I am blessed enough to have Zippy to to be a buffer to many of the challenges. So Zippy has been shuttling around Nairobi helping with a lot of stuff. She has been awesome in terms of making sure that I have the right documentation before I pay anything in place.